Hi guys, it's Melissa. I've been missing for a minute, haven't made any videos, but it's all for a good cause, which I'm about to share part of it with you right now. So hold on tight and welcome to my journey. So back in October of 2019, right before all this COVID stuff began, I put in a bid for a house. Didn't hear from them for a good 6 or 7 months, not until June. Of course, by that time, COVID had came and overtaken our world in a sense. But I didn't let that stop me because I actually won the bid, and this was the house that I won. And so my goal was to fix it up, rehab it, and see what I could do with it. Now, of course, this is my first project that I'm doing this way. I've rehabbed a lot of things. I've rehabbed furniture, I've rehabbed clothing, I've rehabbed hairstyles, but I've never did a entire house before. So, would it be a challenge? Yes. Was I up for the challenge? I thought so, but like I said, COVID had started. So, of course, that puts a damper on a lot of things. But one thing I did find out, despite all of this shutdown and lockdown and 6 feet apart and mask, people were still buying lumber and building supplies and all of that. And unbeknownst to me, all of this stuff price jacked. The lumber jacked up in price, all the building materials jacked up in price. But nevertheless, that's neither here nor there. I was either in for it to start or I wasn't. So, of course, I put my big girl panties on and I jumped all in and came up with a schedule. That was the first thing. So the next step was, after creating a wonderful schedule and timeline, getting ideas. And I like this part because it shows you so many wonderful ideas that you have can come together and create your own unique vision. And so you have ideas for the outside, you have ideas for the inside, and being a creative minded person, it can really have you going over the edge with your thoughts and ideas. And so you just kind of have to bounce back to reality at some point. And that's what I had to do. But in the meantime, it was fun looking at all the different ways I could revamp this house and turn it into something that I would actually live in if push comes to shove and I can't get rid of it. I could live in it. But my goal, my most favorite goal, was this door. I really, really wanted to have a Dutch door, and a welcome sign on the front. Even though it wasn't going to be my home, I wanted that. I wanted a deck. And like I said, sometimes you have to get bounced back into reality. So we did what we could. I really, really hate that I've went through 2 cell phones due to dropping them and breaking them, not having a case on them. I lost all the original pictures of the inside and how really and truly messed up it was before we came in to start. But you'll just have to believe me, it was a mess. And to get it cleaned up on the inside and on the outside took some time. But we managed to get it done. And then we were able to start working on the fixes of the house. We wanted to do the inside first, so that's what we did. We picked out the flooring. I think that was the first thing I did. Picked out the flooring for each room. and then I picked out the paint colors, and then I picked out the windows, and everything else just sort of fell into place after that. But once I saw the windows up, I think that's what sort of made me feel like I was halfway home, even though I wasn't halfway home. But those windows in the house really made me feel good about my decision. So that's why it's important to have a schedule. And when you stick to your timeline and your schedule, as much as it depends on you, then it makes you feel good when you're doing this process. So that taught me to continue to do that. If I do nothing else, continue to do that. It also keeps you within your budget somewhat as well. And speaking of budget, remember I did say I bought the property in a different city than where I live. So it basically takes an hour to get there. Beautiful scenery during the fall time, as you can see. I just had to take some photos of it. But it was an adventure. But fun nevertheless. The city, Jasper, Alabama, and it's in Walker County. And again, I have no regrets. It's only an hour away, but you do have to figure that in your budget if you're going to have travel time. So add that cost to your budget, the cost of getting there, the cost of renting trucks if you have to travel there with equipment. If they don't have any in the local area, what you need, you have to bring it from the larger cities. So, and I had to do that a few times. I learned that Home Depot rent out trucks and equipment and all of that. Thankfully, they had a Home Depot, but there were some things I needed to get from other hardware stores and travel from Tuscaloosa to Jasper. So I had to inquire that cost with U-Haul trucks or what have you. It's not sponsored, but it was a big deal, great help to use U-Haul and to also use the local Home Depot and their rental trucks and equipments for a reasonable price. It's not much. So it don't break your budget, but it's good to remember you have to add those things into your budget. But I love the city of Jasper. I have absolutely no problems with it so far, and as I mentioned, this is the beginning. This is the beginning towards the middle. We're almost towards the end. So I hopes to share that with you. But in the meantime, I'm going to let you enjoy some of the details that we have completed so far. I'm happy about it. And I did my own staging, and I made my own looks come together. Everything is not pieced together yet. But what I have accomplished, I'm so proud of, because like I said, this is my first project. Have to give shouts out to my husband and those guys that helped him, and all the other people that stepped up who live in Jasper that I did not know before I started this project, but they all came together to help me work out what I needed to be worked out, and it just fell into place. It continues to fall into place, but thank you for allowing me to share this journey with you. So I'm going to let you enjoy some photos of my accomplishments thus far. And I didn't wait. I need to note that I didn't wait to the end to buy my appliances or the things that I wanted to be put in the house. I went ahead and did that because, as I mentioned, we were under COVID. We're under COVID. So prices were steadily rising. So I went ahead and took advantage of end of summer sales and fall change of season sales and all of that. I went ahead and took advantage of that. So if you are doing a project like this, go ahead and take advantage of those things. But one tip to keep in mind, a lot of places you can't return things after either 60 days, 90 days, or 180 days. So if you're going to use these things to just stage your house with, be sure you don't purchase them too far in advance, or you won't be able to take them back to get your money back, and you can't use them. So be careful not to use these things and then try to take them back to the store. You have to keep them in their new condition just to stage with. So what you'll see is a few staging items, but for the most part, the things like the appliances, the refrigerator, the stove, all of that. I even put in a wine case that they'll get to keep. Whoever purchases the house, they'll get to keep that. But all the decorating, all of that, basically did myself, and I'm proud of that. So again, enjoy it. Take note of my welcome sign that I did receive, and little tiny details like the stove board that I had done for me for this house. And it was so much fun, and I can't wait to share the finished project with you. Stay tuned.